Your artist, you still messing with dude? Hold on. Kingpin Slim, beam up.
Yup. Kingpin Slim, definitely. He's still rocking. You know what I'm saying? My man Jay Butter's on here now. Beam Up. Jay Butter produced all the Beam Up joints. You know, shout out to DJ Jay Butter.
Fucking Jay Butter. He don't remember me neither. I know Jay Butter.
Because he the one that put me on. Like he was out there. Butter, did you used to get cut by Silk? I know Butter used to be out there a lot too. And what's my man? And JD. JD used to be out there too.
Jay Butter. We went back and forth for a little bit, but I wasn't ready. Them niggas was really starting to do their thing. I wasn't ready for them yet, so I just, you know what I mean, fell back. I ain't gonna keep knocking on the door. You ain't ready and shit.
What you doing now?
I just came home from a 4-year bid.
Oh shit.
So I just shot a video that I'm gonna release Friday. I did the show with Neff and them yesterday. What's up, Rain?
Out west VA, right?
Yeah, I smoked that shit. I smoked that shit crazy. I'm just trying, you know what I mean, stay consistent and get in the loop.
All right, bet. Let's connect. You know what I'm saying? Send me your info. I'm always down to
DJ. What's up? It's the boy Maino, and I'm rolling with the man.
Damn,
DJ
Reddz.
I ain't hear you.
I know Reddz cut me off.
Yeah. Definitely get your people with us. So what up? Yo, what up, Red?
I'm trying to get my flow together. Hold on. Let me get my shit together. Hold on. What up, Reddz?
Hey, no.
What up, Reddz?
I don't need features. I did it by my lonely. All these victims should have been stickers. Pressure from the boss feel like a hard skicker. Words to my enemies, I promise I'ma fix them. I like so real, make a deal and turn Christian. Let them lay. I ain't love them anyway. Still to the top, they let us spray. I'm a G by nature, rap about trade. That's what I swear to God, I run BK. Bring it back, bring it back.
The warm up.
Lose if you want to. I mean, it's your finish. Just tell me what you gonna do. Doing what I can now.
We warming it up for Maino right now.
About 32 shots in my check-in. I like my thugs in the club, living reckless. It's lunchtime, eat these lames up for breakfast. Nouveau sipper, I'm a Benz ripper. Dirty playing hard, they money in my disser. Cause I'm a bread getter, LV on a sweater. Drop top in, I'm put that one on Twitter. Now, bring it back, bread. Bring it back, bread. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back, bread. Let me hit it, let me hit it. Let me hit it. Bring it back, DJ. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back, DJ. Let me hit it. Let me hit it again. Let me hit it. Let me hit it again. Let me hit a song again. Drag on stop. Bring it back, DJ. Started from the top. You already know.
Oh shit, that's fucking bad. Salute, big homie.
Love.
I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from the style.
Okay, that's what's up.
All customs though. All customs. Let's work.
DJ Reddz, let's get it, homie. Let's keep the haters hating. You see us.
Hey.
Yo.
Listen, man. I hope people don't forget this. This is why we do the Stu Review, man. Because sometimes, you know, we get caught up in the gram and in the clutter of what's going on in society, and we forget about, you know what I mean, how shit was, you know what I'm saying? How shit was. Shit was all good just a week ago.
What up, Stu?
What's
up,
good,
Reddz?
my brother, man?
I hear all those drops. All those drops I did for Reddz throughout the years.
Yo, it's crazy. It's bringing it right back to all those times you floating through the DC, putting that work in, making sure the records do what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? Always
definitely.
been 100. You know what I'm saying? That high hater boy. That shit don't never get old, man.
That's a classic.
Classic. Definitely.
All right, man. So look, One Love Mafia, man. This is what we do every Monday, the Stu Review. Man, we tap in with what's going on in the culture. And really, Maino, like I've been realizing lately, you know, I'm older now. And, you know, we always moving and shaking, doing what we do, getting our grind on. And I'm like, yo, that's my brother Maino. I know Maino, but I'm like, damn, maybe I don't really know Maino. So we like to get connect and take a little journey and go from the, you know, throughout your journey from the beginning a little bit and bring it up to speed to the current and then talk about the future a little bit, but just to get to know some things that we might not all the way know about Maino and about your grind and about your journey. So with that being said, man, if you could just set it off for us, like where did it start and how did it start for Maino? Like, how did you even become to be Maino? You know what I'm saying?
As far as my career, as far as rap, it started when I was really in prison. You know what I mean? I never thought about being a rapper. I never rapped before.
Mm-hmm.
It was never my I was always a fan of the music. I grew up like everybody else in the street that loved the music. I loved the culture. We was a part of the culture in that way. But I was more attracted to the other side of life. And, you know, I was a young troubled youth, and I would be in and out of different situations. But music is always the backdrop to our stories, regardless of what, no matter what era, whatever it is. You was in the street, you was listening to rap music. You was influenced in that way, but I was never influenced to be a rapper. Mm. It wasn't until I was in prison, and then I would get into a lot of trouble in prison. I would you know what they do when you get in trouble in prison, they put you in a box, leave you in there 23 hours a day, they put you in there for years. Mm. So I was under those conditions when I actually wrote my first rap. Mm-hmm. And I really did it because, you know, it was some kids that was on my gallery that was rapping one night on a Friday night, and I was just like inspired, and they was just rapping, and, you know, and they was just going off on the gate. And that next morning I woke up and wrote my first rhyme actually. Mm-hmm. Now, I started to think about doing it when I came home, but I was like, nah, man, I ain't no rapper, man. You know, so niggas don't know me for rapping. Like, I ain't no rapper. And I went through that for a long time, and I kept it to myself. But then I started to think of it as a hustle. Mm. I started to think about it. I started to challenge myself. I started to say, well, you know, when I get out the box and then I get in population, and then eventually these years gonna go by and I'm gonna get home. Mm-hmm. What I'm gonna do. And one of the scariest parts about being in prison is not knowing what you're gonna do when you come home. Mm-hmm. Now, I knew I always had the street to come home to. I was good there. And I always knew that I could always fall back on that. But I felt like I wanted to give myself and my family a different try. Like, let's just try this. So I convinced my niggas that when I got home that we was gonna do music. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that's exactly what we did. So the name Hustle Hard and all that, I made that name up while I was still in prison. Mm-hmm. I started everything that you ever seen me do. The blueprint to that shit was when I was gone already. You know, yep. So I got out and got to it.
And then, and as you was getting to it, and like, what was the trajectory as far as you actually getting on in the industry and like in the industry side of it, like taking it from the streets, taking it from a hustle, getting the deal, like, you know, what was Lil Kim involved? I know at a certain time you was cool with Kim, like break down that.
Right. So I get home and, you know, it's the era of the mixtapes. You know, not the rappers mixtapes, but the actual DJ mixtapes. So it's the K-Slays, the DJ Clues, the MVs, the Who Kids. And I started to get into the circuit of that. And then what started to happen was they started to come out with these DVDs. Mm-hmm. And I got right into the DVD game. And then I became, you know, one of the prominent, you know, local artists from Brooklyn that was always on DVDs, always talking, always, you know, doing videos. So I was in the circle of that, you know, Smacks and Cocaine Cities and, you know, All Access. So, you know, that helped me tremendously. And then I had relationships with the DJs in my city. Now Kim was somebody that I had known already, and she definitely opened up her house, you know, and it was just, she opened up her house for me, honestly. Wow. You know what I mean? She was working on an album, what was it, Naked True. She was working on Naked True. I was around to help, you know, the process of that. You know, I was actually on that album.
Ghostwriting? Was you ghostwriting?
I'm gonna say I was there to help the process. I'm a team
for
player,
helping
so
the energy.
Right, energy. I mean, whatever I needed to do. You know what I mean? Like, I was there. So, and you know, this is factual. You know, so I never want to just, you know, take all the credit or try to make myself seem more than what it was. But I was part of the process of the album. You know, I was definitely part of that process. I was part of building those records, making those songs. You know, Light Is Up. I was a part of all that. And
I can hear it too. You saying it, and now I'm going back in my head, and now like, damn, I can hear the Maino influence.
Listen, I come from Bed-Stuy. I come from Bed-Stuy. When niggas either do or they gonna die, gotta keep the ratchet close by. That's me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. And now it's going back in my head, and I'm like, yeah, I hear the Maino now.
Broad daylight kidnap you. Let's just get clapped through. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but I mean, I wasn't the only one, you know. A lot of that was me, you know. But like I said, but that was me paying dues, and you know what I mean. And I'm forever grateful for her for open up doors for me and allowing me to be able to see what the game was from the perspective of a star, you know. And I wanted from, you know, for my niggas the same thing. So, you know, and then, you know, I had made a song called Rumors. Rumors was the song that changed my life. So when I made Rumors, that was the song that really kind of, you know, changed it up for me. Actually, that was the first time I had a show in DC off of Rumors. You know, I came down years ago. Yeah, I came down years ago. Rumors was popping. Rumors was like a hood classic, you know, because the video was on the DVDs, and, you know, and it was just floating. This was before the internet was really big, but you know, Rumors was floating all around, and that's the song that actually got my first record deal.
Let me ask you this. When did you get nice as a rapper? Because like the way you put the story was like you was in prison, and then it was like you got out, but you started rapping. So when did you get good at it? Like, was it something you did like just, you know, from a shit talking aspect, or, you know, something you just played with just in passing, and then after prison you said, I'm gonna do this shit for real? Because you lyrically you nice with it. So
but you know what, Reddz, that's one of the things that that's one of the few things that I felt like I did wrong, was not owning that, not saying that. Not when I first came out, like I wouldn't say, yo, nigga, I'm nice. Like, I wouldn't own that and claim it, because presentation is everything. People gonna deal with you and look at you the way you present yourself. And because I didn't do that, I don't think people gave me the credit lyrically for being as good as I really am. Now, part of that is my fault, because I would down. I ain't really no rapper, like, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I didn't look at myself as like a Nas or a Hov, and I just looked at it like, look, listen, my nigga, we gonna hustle. We ain't gotta be super nice and all that, you know what I mean? But I knew how to make songs. I knew how to do song structure, you know what I mean? But then after a while, I would hear people saying like, that nigga ain't nice, and I was like, yo, like, and then like a song like I Hate Her, I dumbed my whole flow down, like I just dumbed it all the way down. People kind of thought that was who I was, and I was like, nah, nigga, I get busy, and then I really would go to show people that. And then later on, people started to really see, you know, what it was that I really could rap, you know. But, you know, this is what it is.
And so, like, and Rumors was like what? Oh, like 06, 07?
05, 06. 05, 06.
And then so Rumors got you the deal. So the deal was with who? Atlantic?
Nah, my first deal was with Universal Motown. Yeah.
All right, and then what happened from there? From Rumors to Universal, and what was that?
Universal Sound. I thought it was on, but it wasn't.
Right.
And I was, see, when you come from the street and you don't got nobody to really tell you what it really is, I didn't really have nobody that was in the industry that really told me what the game was.
Right.
Because I thought that once you got signed, I'm around Kim and them, and I'm seeing what the record company is doing for her. They going crazy, like they do whatever she want them to do. Right. So I'm thinking that once you get signed, you like a priority, and they about to kick in the budget, and your whole life is going to change. You're all over TV, and what happened was that didn't happen. So I'm looking around like, yo, I thought it was on, but it wasn't. I was signed up there for maybe like a year and a half, 2 years, and then one day they was like, yo, look, right here. They was like, we want to drop you. And y'all can hear me?
Yeah, my bad.
And they the only song we actually put out was actually a song with Kim called Stomp, which didn't really, they just shot the video. They didn't really put it out as a single, right? They didn't put it out as a single, like they didn't really do much for it. And so they dropped me after about, I want to say maybe a year and a half, 2 years. They was just like, one day, we gonna let you go. And then something told me like that was the best thing for me, because they might have dropped me maybe 2006 December, or maybe the beginning of 2007. Mm-hmm. And right after they dropped me, I went to the studio. I made High Hater.
Yeah, and so I was about to. So what came next? High Hater came next.
But I didn't have no deal, so I held it. So I made that song when I had no deal. Like I was still hungry, trying to figure it out. And we had been talking to Atlantic about me coming there, and they would, how it is sometimes when you talking on labels and stuff like that. Sometimes it's just talk. Mm-hmm. And then my brother 80 was with 50 one day. And he was like, yo, what y'all doing? He was like, yo, we've been talking to Atlantic, and they've been acting like, they want to do something. But, so he said, yo, what you want me to do? You want me to call over there? He said, sure, why not? and 50 picked up the phone, called Craig Calman, was like, yo, listen, what y'all doing with Maino? Oh, yo, we talking. He said, yo, listen, if I could do it, I would. Them boys got their own movement. They good. And what happened was that one phone call changed everything. So now Craig hung up the phone, was like, oh, get Maino up here. So right from there, it was a done deal. Mm-hmm. But what happened was, when I got to the meeting, I actually had the records. Not that the meeting, I actually had High Hater already. I actually had songs already. Mm-hmm. And when they heard that, it was like, oh, this is a smash. Right. So, but none of that stuff came out till like a year or so later.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I mean?
Because 09, like, right?
08, 09, right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what I tell people all the time. Like, you can make timeless music. You could hold it, and you position yourself. So that's exactly what happened. So that one phone call changed the game for me, and then led to me actually getting my deal. But I had the music. They didn't, because a record company just sign you on some favorite shit and just leave you over there.
Right.
So I actually had the music, and then I was in a situation where I saw the difference between how Universal was treating me and the difference between how Atlantic was treating me. And the way Atlantic was treating me, they was treating me like they really was into me, and it was just like, yo, we'll get this, we'll get behind them. And they did things for me that I had never seen done for me before. So it was on.
And I tell people all the time, in our business, man, we really live off the referral. You know what I'm saying? Like that referral game is really how we survive out here. So like you stay solid, you get a solid referral from a solid person, and then that changes the whole trajectory of things. Like now everybody got passion for you in the building, and it's different. Like I got my man, I see Bo Young Prince was on here. Yeah, he's on here. Is an artist from DC signed to Def Jam. It's similar what he's going through right now with Def Jam. His A&R signed him, but his A&R is no longer in the building. So the building is kind of like, You know,
right.
like,
That's right.
he's a fucking star, made crazy music, about to drop his own cannabis strand, half and half. DC, gotta get you some of that. I saw you I know you ain't, you know, Snoop with it, but
I almost bust my chest open.
I saw you with Capo, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta get you some of this half and half, you know what I'm saying? But it's shit like that going on all the time. And it's like, and we always have talks about, like, man, if you just have that person in the building or that referral system with the right people talking and referring you, and then all of a sudden everybody is with it and everybody goes, and it's like that all
That's
over.
all it takes,
man. That referral.
That's all it takes.
So there's something I didn't know. I didn't know about the 50 referral. I didn't know about that 50 call. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I knew that somewhere along the lines that, you know, you had a relationship with Kim and y'all was rocking, and you know what I'm saying? And I didn't know that, you know, I didn't know how much, you know, contribution you was making musically with Kim. So that's something that I learned. I don't know how many other people on this on the platform tonight knew about that, but those are two gems right there that we just got. That's crazy. And High Hater changed everything, because after High Hater, it was tours, it was more records, albums. You know, like now, what's it like for Maino? Talk about from High Hater on, like what's it like now? You know what I'm saying?
You said something that was interesting. When you talked about how the artist that you referred to, you know, he's at the label and then his A&R. So now, when you sign to a major label, you gotta have your team, your inside team, and those your bodyguards, like your A&R, the people that help push to get you here. So on my second album, I had a song with Wayne. A lot of people don't remember. I had a song with Wayne. Wayne, and this is
mixtape. Wayne.
No, this is Wayne when he just got out of jail. He sold 1 million in a week. Wayne.
Yeah, this is
biggest Wayne. He sent me a verse. We got a song called "I'm About Cream," and we worked out the deal what we was going, you know, what it was going to cost the label and all that. We were supposed to shoot the video, and right in that, the people that was my A&Rs, like Gene Nelson and G. Robeson and them, they decided to leave Atlantic. And when they left Atlantic, it all changed. It all changed when they because basically the label was like, listen, they don't want to stay. You part of them. You part of that team. Fuck it, you can leave with them, you know?
Damn.
So I had kind of got jammed up in that. But right in the midst of that, Baby started hollering at me. Cash Money, Baby started hollering at me. We would be linking up. We started doing a couple of sneaky records together. And he was like, yo, what is going to cost to buy you out your deal? I was like, look, I think I can get out my deal. I think that I could possibly get out my deal because they already not feeling me based off of what's going on. We already in a fucked up place. So I went to my lawyer. I told him, I said, yo, Baby want to sign me, Cash Money. He said, look, don't tell Atlantic. I'm going to fight to get you off. That happened. What to get me off. I got off. I got a clean getaway, thinking that now I'm gonna get away from Atlantic. I'm gonna go over here to Cash Money, and this is the brand new Cash Money with the Young Money at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. So now you got Nicki, you got Drake, this is that era. So I'm like, I'm about to go over there.
Wow.
Nigga, let me tell you.
Sheesh.
Yo, listen. I went to the lawyer office and signed that release. I screenshot it and sent it to Baby. I never heard from he texted me back and was like, yeah, it's on. I never heard from him again after that. That's a fact.
Cricket.
Whoa.
It was
come on, Baby.
It was a rap.
Come on, Birdman Lugs. Y'all remember Baby had his own lugs?
Huh?
Baby with the love. He was pushing them lugs heavy.
Pushing them lugs heavy? Y'all crazy.
Hey, the
That's
homie,
fucked up, man. After that, were you
so
jaded?
listen. So because I only told this story maybe one time. I think maybe it might have been on the Breakfast Club or whatever. I never even told it on my platform. But so the reason why I got out my deal in Atlantic was because I was being told that we was gonna work something out with Cash Money directly, and like I said, I signed that paper. I took a screenshot of it. I texted the baby. He hit me back, but then I never heard from him again after that. Never heard from him again. He just stopped answering.
Even to this day, you still haven't talked to him?
Nah. Let me tell you. So, you know, so you hear me?
Yeah.
I was somebody was calling me. So I had to regroup and figure it out. So then I went back, and then I went through like portions of my life when I was like, I couldn't understand. I was like making this dope music, was putting it out. My last album ain't do shit. Baby just faked the move on me. So I was like depression and all that. Like I was like going through it. So then I went back home and got my niggas, and we started like a group called the Mafia. And I started doing music for like a year and a half. I started doing music only with a group because it was helping me. It was therapeutic for me. That's when I felt like I started getting better as an artist, getting better as a writer. So I started doing music only with them. And then slowly but surely, I started trying to dig myself out of the hole that I was in mentally. And I started the KOB shit and started running around wearing a crown, and you know what I mean? And I started to dig myself out. And I started to build myself back up. And then you know, we dropped the KOB series, and people started to call me that, and we started to work a little bit. And me and Uncle Murder turned around and did Yellow Tape. Right?
Yep.
So when the Yellow Tape hit, it hit.
Yep.
And then Baby popped back up.
He
popped back up. Yeah, he popped back up. You see, we was in the club in New York, and me and Uncle Murder was booked there one night because you know we had did like mad press. We was like together every day. So we had just really did this thing and made it happen on some Brooklyn shit. And Baby popped back up and was like, "Yo, I want to fuck with y'all." So I'm like, man. Yeah. He said, "Nah, I want to, yo, you know, I want to." And you know, it's like I take my bumps and my bruises the way they are. Like I'm a man about everything. It's like, listen, sometimes it just ain't the way it is. And I was trying to get in the space of not taking everything personal.
Right.
Because sometimes we get in our way, we take everything personal. Right. Thing I'm playing like, and then sometimes it's not like that. Maybe he wasn't in the space that he needed to be in or whatever. So I was just like, I'm talking to Murder, I'm talking to both teams, and I'm like, yo, we could do a group deal with him as a group, and as Maino and Murder together, but then keep our solo, right? So I'm thinking about what that'll look like. You know, he went up on, and then it was real because he went up on Angie Martinez and was talking about us, and he was like, yo, the hardest niggas out of New York is Murder and Maino. Wow. You know what I mean? Yep. So he was like seeing us every day. It was a song that we did. Y'all probably remember. It's a song with me and Uncle Murder. I only fuck with my gang.
Yep.
That song originally was supposed to have been for the Rich Gang album. We recorded that with Baby. We recorded that with Baby. He would come here. We have sessions. It would be me, Rollo, Reddz, Deshaun. It was a bunch of them.
Wow.
It would be all of them, and they would come to New York and they would come fuck with us, and then we'd go do music. So at one of those sessions that we did that song, we shot a video for that. I'm gonna send y'all with Baby. We shot like a piece of the video. I'm gonna find that footage. I'm gonna get it to you.
So what happened? Baby went crickets again?
So we had to talk. Me and him, he was like, yo, what I gotta do to make this happen? And I said, yo, just if you could do real business, if you could do straight business, man, then we can make it happen. Right. I wasn't trying to say, yo, give me $2 million and none of that shit like that. Right. I was just like, basically like, let's do real business. Put us in the positions and we can go get ours. You understand? So whatever that business looked like, let's do it. And he was like, I bet. The lawyers, you know, we did the lawyer information and everything. Now my lawyer telling me, yo, don't do this deal. I'm like, yo, I can't lose. I told Baby, I said, listen, baby, we only want to do a group thing with you. As a group. We want to keep our solo.
Right.
He said, bet. He said, cool. The deal that he put on the table, it was 2 deals. The way he do his deals, it's a recording deal and it's a publishing deal. The recording deal, I would have took it if it was just the recording, but we couldn't take the publishing deal, bro, because the publishing ties you up forever, brother.
Forever.
And
it wasn't even, it's not like it's different because it's a partnership, it's a collab, it's more of a partnership. So it's not like y'all came up from the mud together. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
We couldn't get past, it wasn't a good deal. So he actually did this time, I will say he actually did put a deal on the table. But we didn't take the deal.
Right.
Because it when you see words in your contract that say perpetuity on your publishing, that means forever.
That's what that means. I was just about to ask, what's perpetuity?
Perpetuity. These are the small little words that they use in these contracts that we don't be understanding. And the record deal, the recording contract was, was standard. It really wasn't nothing. It really wasn't so much about the money, but it was about the opportunity for us to stand next to some niggas that was going to have other niggas looking at us, like, because it's all about the way people look at you. Yeah. So now you ain't looking at me just as, Maino murder. Now, niggas fuck with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, we were supposed to do the second yellow tape on Cash Money, but it never happened because the deal wasn't right. And that was just that. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then Birdman disappears again.
Yeah, pretty much. But you know what though? I got a lot of respect for the dude though. Like, just, I know it's hard trying to be in a game all, 20, 30 years and to continuously reinvent yourself and get money and all that. So it ain't never like no beef or nothing like none of that. If I see him, it's always respect because it started with that. Sometimes business don't work out.
Yep.
It's just like that. It happens every day. So it's like I said before, it's about stepping away from trying to take everything personal.
Right.
So so when he put that deal on the table, I didn't take it personal. Like I wasn't like mad at him, like, yo, nigga, trying to play me. I was just like, come on, man, we can't do that.
Right.
Can't do that.
Let's just go back to being cool, man. We just cool.
Yeah, and it's just like that.
Yo, so the homie Thorn jumped in the chat and was like, could you ask Maino to jump into how you and Tip linked up?
Oh, Tip. Wow. Yeah, Tip played a major part in my career also. Me and Tip met years ago off Rumors, me being them DVDs. And we met years ago and what happened was,
because y'all was label mates at one point.
Before we was label mates, we was cool though.
Right.
And I had I would see him because he would come around and him and Kim was label mates because Kim was on Atlantic and I was around Kim.
Right.
But he took a liking to me and we took a liking to each other. We got cool, right?
Right.
And one time I was in LA with Kim, who was in the studio. We ran into him and he was just like, yo, what you doing? What's your situation? And this is after the 50 call when we was about to sign to Atlantic. And he was just like, and a lot of people don't know, Jason Jeter is like family to me.
Right. Yeah.
Jason Jeter is like, we like cousins, like, that's family. And so he was just like, yo, come fuck with me. Like, let's, some grand hustle, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he just opened up his doors. Like I never forget, he started sending me songs. It's early me and Tip songs, and then he actually flew me out to Vegas with him to Floyd Mayweather house. Him and Floyd Mayweather almost was cool. They almost was cool.
Almost.
I think they was just meeting. I was actually there. We was at Floyd house. Floyd was trying to do this thing in Vegas. We stayed a weekend, and they kind of fell out during that time right there.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. But yeah. So Tip, I would come to Atlanta. He would hold me down, and I done been to his grandmother's house, been his home. You know, I was at his wedding. You know, I didn't met his family. You know, I didn't been, you know, know all his people. So I would come to Atlanta all the time, and then he would be the first one there to be like, yo, you good? You know what I mean? So it was just always love, you know?
Man, that's definitely a testament, man, to you, man. You know, like everybody willing to open up their homes and their doors and support you like that is a testament to you and your spirit and your energy and who you are as a person, because people are not just going to do that for anybody.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, man, that's incredible to hear, like, that journey and those trajectories and how you navigated those waters. And because a lot of the things, like us on the outside, we not going to know things like what you're going through mentally or those down times. Like, you never let the outside see that. You've always been 100 the whole time. So, but to understand, you know, that those elements are there in the journey makes it even more impressive and more motivational to see what you've gone through and how you came out still rocking and rolling, like up to now, to where you've reinvented again. You know what I'm saying? And you still doing music. We got some joints that we gonna play some clips of, but now you've brought us this Kitchen Talk platform. So talk about that and how that came about, how that was conceived and birthed, and how you've gotten it to the point now to where lately you going crazy viral with some of these hits. You know what I'm saying?
You know, the game changes, the game shifts, and then we in a internet time, or heavy social media time, and we in a time where you don't actually have to just be an artist. You don't have to be an artist. We actually seeing people that's full-blown celebrities that's not artists at all. All right. So there's other components that you can add to whatever it is that you got going on that doesn't pigeonhole you as just being an artist. So music is one component. Okay. Then acting is another component, right? Being a businessman is another component, right? Podcast is another component. We can do all those things. There's an avenue for all those things, and there's a way to do everything without stepping on, you know, each thing. So I started to really see, you know, it started with me actually being on the gram, right? Let me tell you another story you don't know, because podcast game, people have been hitting me about doing podcasts for years. Nori, years ago, hit me. Yo, remember Joe Button that said something to me years ago up at Complex, like, yo, it's something for you, right? And Yellow Tape, Revolt gave me and Uncle Murder a deal for a show years ago.
Wow.
It was called Brooklyn Boys. It's a podcast.
That would have been crazy.
We shot 2 episodes. Now we did the deal with Revolt, no, because we got paid.
Right.
You understand? So we shot 2 episodes. I'm gonna send you a clip to it too. Brooklyn Boys, I think. It was me and Uncle Murder. It was our show. And the girl that I got now, Georgie, she was part of it too, right?
Wow,
we shot 2 episodes. It never came out, and it didn't have nothing to do with us. It was everything to do with what they had going on, and you know, and you know, switching leadership or whatever. So it never happened. And from that point, I was just like, damn, I want to do something. I just don't know what I want to do. And you know how you trying to find the perfect timing to do something, or you're trying to find the perfect way to do it. I was stuck in that for about a year or two. And then when the pandemic hit and we was all locked down, I was just like, man, you know what? This is a perfect time, right? To do everything that I wanted to do, right? So now I was thinking about doing a podcast. I didn't know exactly how I wanted to do it, what I wanted to do, but you know what? Let's just do it. So I put in some calls like, yo, listen, what do I need to buy to invest into this? And then they told me everything I needed, and I just started to get into it, and I just built my team, and you know, and I just say, yo, the kitchen is the hangout everywhere anyway. Let's just shoot it in the kitchen. Let's just, you know, get a cook in here. Let's make it a show. And I just started to build it up, and you know, we still building, like we still early in it. You know, it's just that we had a lot of great moments now, and people really tapped into it because it's a real show. We really having real talk. We having real guests come on here, And it's just dope, man.
What was your first like dope moment, viral moment for the show?
Ooh.
Oh man, I caught a couple viral moments, man. I caught a viral moment for some shit that I didn't even want to, you know.
That's
Yeah.
always.
I had, you know, it was this lady, man. I don't even want to speak on her, but
you don't
know,
have to.
It was all I'm gonna say. It was out of context, you know, and I don't lie on nothing. But anyway,
okay.
But we caught a lot of moments. But the moment that really everybody really caught, because we was catching some moments.
Right.
But the moment that everybody caught was Mr. C.
Mr. C.
Shout out, yeah, that was it. That was what actually put us really on the map, you know, because, you know, people was tuned in and we was building up, but Mr. C really hit it because, you know, he lived his truth. And shout out to Mr. C for coming on the show and speaking to me and you know, about what his truth was, and it just went crazy.
Had you ever heard him speak publicly like that, candid, the way he was?
Never.
So that's what I was like. I'm like, I never heard him. Like, he's clearly all the way in acceptance of who he is and the situation and all that. And I'm like, did you have any type of show preparatory? Like,
nah. Let me tell you what people don't know is this. We talked about everything that we needed to talk about. Now I had told him if he was gonna come up on the show that we needed to be able to talk about everything. And he said to me, look, we could talk about me getting locked up and all that, whatever. It's all good.
Right.
But I thought the conversation was going to be about, you know, I thought the tone was going to be like, yo, you know, this. I thought he was going to explain it, because I heard him explain it before in a different tone.
Almost like,
I knew what my question was going to be, right? I waited the whole night. And we came all the way up and we got all the way to him being at Hot 97. Now the question was, C, why did you leave Hot 97? And that was it.
Yep.
That's the question.
Set up.
That led to everything right there. And I knew that was going to lead to everything, but I didn't know that it was going to go like that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, so, I didn't know it was going to go like that.
So I don't know if everybody saw it that's on here, but y'all got to go back and watch Maino's Kitchen Talk podcast with DJ Mr. C. And DJ Mr. C is, you know, like he's very important DJ in hip hop culture, but he had a situation where he was caught up, you know, got caught out there with the tranny, topping him off and all of that. Couple times he got caught out there, and it kind of
use the terminology right.
Transgendered. Well, I forget what it is now. What is whatever it is? Yeah, them.
Hey,
you about to get messed up, man.
Just say that man was speaking on his truth.
Yeah, he was just speaking on his. Yeah, y'all got to go. See, if y'all don't know about DJ Mr. C, y'all got to go back and see the type of stuff that he was wrapped up into. And he was a guest on Maino's show and just talked very candidly about, this is what I do. It's how I get down. It's what it is. It is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So check this out, Stu. Hey, Maino, when he was explaining his truth to you, I couldn't help but notice that he kept touching you the whole time.
Right.
He was, and I want to know what was going through your mind when he was touching you, explaining, man.
See, the thing about it is that you got to understand, like, I know C for a long time.
Right.
Facts.
So, I mean, I was not offended. Like, he was touching my shoulder. Right. I think people was making it more than what it was. Like he was rubbing my knee or something. Like, you know, like, come on, my nigga. Like, how many people that we know that we got homies that when they talk, they grab it, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't. I was more honestly off guard and more fucked up by his words.
Yeah,
I had never heard the term trisexual. I was caught up in that. I was like,
what?
So him touching my shoulder didn't bother. This is C. I know C 20 years. This ain't. I'm not offended, and I'm extremely comfortable in who I am.
Right.
As a man. So it didn't bother me no bit, and I think it looked funny because of what he was saying. If he had been saying something different, I don't think it would have looked the same or felt the same way to people. But I get it, you know what I'm saying? But then I'm also a nigga that don't use words like pause and no homo. I don't use that shit. Because I don't need to. I don't talk like that. If I say nigga I'm on your ass, better believe it ain't no homo shit I'm talking.
Indeed.
Word. Nah,
you understand?
That's what it is. Yeah.
So yeah.
Y'all go back and check that episode out. First, read up on Mr. C for those who don't know. Get up to speed on Mr. C and his journey and his life, and then check that episode of the Kitchen Talk on with Mr. C. Recently, I saw you had Bobby Shmurda on there.
Yep, his only on camera interview to date. Since he been home.
Crazy.
Only one.
Of course, the king of Brooklyn got KOB. Got to get that. You know what I'm saying? So talk about that. Like, of course, obviously you've known him and known Rowdy and these guys before the podcast. So talk about that as far as and their position in Brooklyn and all that.
You know, with me, man, and a lot of young niggas from Brooklyn, man, I love them, bro.
Yep.
You know, and when they see me, it ain't nothing but love. It ain't nothing but respect because I give it. I know what it feel like to be a young nigga, and that all I ever wanted was respect. Yep. So I love Bobby. I talk to him all the time. We speak all the time. I just saw him 2 days ago. Like it's, I talked to Rowdy the other day. Fabio, or all the young niggas that come from Brooklyn. I hope it it's a different type of love for me because I want to see them. I want to see you excel. I want to see you win. You know what I'm saying? Like, and whatever I can do to help any one of them, in anything that I could do, whether it's me the other day, helping to broker a show for Fabio, where I don't want nothing off it. Like, that's you, brother. Like, I want you to have that because you deserve that, and the opportunity is greater than any trouble that you would get in. I want to see y'all excel. So, it's only right. You know what I mean? We can't be, see, there's a difference between being an OG and just being an old nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And, you gotta allow yourself to know what your time is and then to give the same respect that you want to give it back. You know what I mean? Right. And know how to play your position and not be overbearing with shit. You know what I'm saying? And everything ain't for you. Right. So every time I come around my young niggas, it ain't always, yo, I need a verse from you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it ain't always about that.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: Who's some of the youngins right now that Maino rocking with on the hip hop tip?
I rock with all of them. Any especially if they coming from this side, like I rock with all of them. Some of them I got relationships with. Some I see him in passing, but it's always, yo, that's the big homie. Like it ain't never no nothing. It can't be because that's not my energy, bro. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I was coming up, I always felt like it was a disconnect between what I was doing and a lot of the older niggas. I felt like it was no real love. Yep. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like that, So I always try to be, a voice of reason and to a certain extent, or like a person that's realistic, because we inspire each other, man.
Yep, that's facts. That's facts. You always been one of the realest that I ever came across in this industry. Always 100, and I know you mean exactly and what you're saying right now. Seen you do it your whole career. Always giving back. Always showing love. You know what I'm saying? Real, like genuine. Real love, like not Definitely. That industry shit, like real, like this right here. You jumping on my, you ain't have to jump on my podcast.
I was on the West Coast, and you was like, yo, you said, yo, I hope we good, man.
Yeah,
we good.
I mean it when I'm saying, like, I'm honored to have you on because you give us all these gems, and I knew
I'm giving y'all stories that nobody even got.
Listen, these clips is gonna be crazy
on my podcast.
These clips is gonna be crazy. I hope I might go viral now, baby. Let's go. That referral system, I told you, man.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: up NYC, you venturing out into the fashion, or is that you up NYC?
That's Fat Joe's joint.
Oh, that's
yeah,
Fat Joe.
Yeah. I mean, I got a sneaky little line that I've been involved with. Y'all probably seen. Y'all just don't know I'm involved with it. You know what I mean?
Tell us
yeah, this is
about
Fat. Shout out to Fat Joe, man. Shout out to Slow. Shout out to Up NYC.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they're my guys though. So they you know, they hold me down.
Nah, that's dope. I always see all that, you know, like that generational wealth being built, you know, between a lot of y'all OGs starting businesses and y'all supporting each other's business. You wearing Fat Joe and Slow and brand on you know, live on camera, you know what I'm saying, for the world to see, and it's always like reciprocated. I'm sure anything you do, Joe show love back.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to play some music, and while we playing some of this music, when I want people, anybody that got any questions for Maino, anything that they want to say or whatever, put it in the chat. And when we done playing a couple of these clips, I'll go to the chat and see what y'all talking about. So if y'all got anything y'all want to ask, go ahead, shoot it in the chat now. And let's play some of this music you sent me. Reddz, what you got loaded up?
I got Fearless loaded up. Maino featuring CeeLo Green.
Talk about this record real quick, Maino.
Man, CeeLo Green, you know what it is. See, this music is off my last project that we dropped in December. It's called Die Legend, and there's some dope music on there. CeeLo is one of the artists I always wanted to work with, man, always. So, you know, I laid it down, I sent it to him. He thought it was dope, and we got it done. You know, it's a record talking about what's happening. You know, from my perspective, you know, we're going through a lot as a culture, going through a lot as Black people. So yeah, we talking about some stuff.
Let's get to it. Maino featuring CeeLo Green live on the Stu Review. Put them questions in the chat.
You been here all day?
Yeah. No more rapping about how real I am. No, y'all have no clue who I really am. And I don't fear any man. No, I wasn't made off the Instagram. Mommy tried, daddy couldn't make it. The streets called and I couldn't shake it. My soul is bare, feeling naked. Only a chosen few can relate it. Hey, look at these rappers dying. They toss us in racket silent. We wake up 10 niggas ratting and bragging about Sister Fine. I've been out different business, but knocking with different women. Not knowing who we should trust as a guard of the politicians. Crazy, this shit is crazy. The ghetto ain't got our babies. The diamonds that's in this rollie bring niggas that feeling heavy. Looking at what they feed, the flaming on social media. According to who you follow, tomorrow ain't getting easier. Hustling out of hunger. Tell me, how can they judge us inside of these courtrooms? Look, nobody love us. Power is in the dollar. Searching for a solution. I saw them both of my hands getting quick before they shoot me. It's harder to keep my focus. Standing here feeling hopeless. Lord, I need a drink, so I'm praying the club is open. Hoping for a blessing. The purpose of my intention. Wishing that y'all don't wait till they kill me to get the message.
Family, you know, the daddy too hurt, though. Too hurt, though.
All right. All right. Make sure y'all get that Die Legend available on all platforms. You know what I'm saying? What's next, Reddz? Let's hear something else. Put them questions in the chat too. What you got loaded up, Reddz?
It's that Young Niggas.
Let's talk about this one, Maino.
Man, just what we was talking about, man. Talking to my young niggas, man. I ain't trying to sound like no preacher, but from a perspective of a nigga that was a young nigga that understands. So, you know, that's what it is.
Let's get to it.
Violator All-Star DJ.
You get taller, though. Yeah, and just tell me if it's me. You see I'm doing something, right? Cool. Tell me if it's me. Girl.
I just said a prayer for my young niggas. I'm the fed for these young niggas. Ain't nothing fair to a young nigga. Just know I'm here for my young niggas. Gave him all that time, he's a young nigga. Died before his time, just a young nigga. I can never judge him, he's my young nigga. And I know just how it feels to be a young nigga. We was on them corners with them packs dealing. Fuck school, make $1 million off of crack selling. A life full of riches, that's what we was thinking. We was headed for destruction, but couldn't see it. Ghetto boys, black nails, feeling trapped. We struggle with our father figures, so we got attached to the street life. No shortcuts, trying to cheat life. What you saw is what you read, right? Wish I would've known before I knew they had a cell waiting for us. A shot away from death, they had a grave waiting for us. The shit we thought we got away, they made us pay for it. All that karma coming back, wait for it. I just said a prayer for my street niggas, but my fear is I'm not able to reach niggas. I just hope that they feel me when I speak, nigga. And this is pain, homie, I ain't trying to preach, nigga. Who am I to judge? I got options, and it's true. If I have to, I'ma slide too. Yeah, I get it, boy. I understand that life for you, but just know I'm the nigga that's gonna ride for you. I just said a prayer for my young niggas. I'm starting to fear for these young niggas. Ain't nothing fair to a young nigga.
Dope. Talking that real shit, you know what I'm saying? That we all need to hear. Young, old, you know what I'm saying? Everybody need that.
I got more.
What'd you say?
So I got one more.
You got one more? Let's give him one more. One more like 30, 40 seconds, you know, so we don't hold everybody forever. I don't want to hold Maino forever, you know what I'm saying? We got a couple questions in the chat. Drop one more on them. What is it? What is it? What you got, Reddz?
It's called Catch a Vibe, featuring French Montana, KGP.
Something wrong with these chips.
What's wrong with them, bro? Just open them.
You know what it is?
Bottom.
Wow.
We gon' catch the vibes. Big check up on my wrist. Cause shorty slipping, got her falling off this drip. Yeah. 100 rounds I can spit. Yeah. Got 100 shooters rolling in my clip. We gon' catch a vibe. Call them out game, we gon' catch a vibe. Shorty call your crew, we gon' catch a vibe. I just catch them out track, time to catch a vibe. Yeah. Time to catch a vibe. Call them out game, we gon' catch a vibe. Shorty bring your crew, we gon' catch a vibe. Vibe. Yeah. We gon' catch a vibe.
All right, we definitely catching the vibe right now with the big bro, probably little bro. You probably younger than me, man. But you got more money than me, so I call you big bro.
Stop it, bro.
You know what I'm saying? But yo, was that on Die Legend too? That's on Die Legend.
That's on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, so make sure y'all go get that. It ain't like timeless music. It don't matter when you get it, just get it. You know what I'm saying? So. You know, we're going to take it to the chat real quick. Victory, she says, I'm going to read hers backwards because she says she has much respect for you and it's an honor to be in a Zoom meeting with you. And the question is, what are some secrets on how to survive the snakes in the industry and how do you continue to be genuine?
Well, I mean, the thing is, a snake going to be who he is. It's about who you are. You know what I mean? We can't let what other people are or who they are define us. You know what I mean? Like the industry is full of people that's ungenuine. It's full of people that's you know, treacherous or, you know, deceitful, you know, but what we gonna do? Like that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Just because we play in the water don't mean that we gotta be that, you know? So stay yourself, stay true to who you are. Just be you.
Dope. My man, 50 Grand, my brother, DJ J Butter. He's a producer. He produced that Let 'Em Lay record.
Yeah, I know J Butter. Yeah.
So his question, rightfully so, respectfully, when we doing another record?
You can hear me.
Doing another record.
Maino, listen. Can you hear me?
I hear you,
you on, Butter.
Bro, listen. We got to do another record, bro. I got some rockets, my nigga. Like, I gotta get your mouth again. I lost your number, like switching phones and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to Sus about you the other day, man. Like, yo, we could do it because we about to I've been holding some joints, man. I'm
you know, trying to lock in some distribution. You know, I got a Smoker with Young Thug video already done. Me and Pop Smoke, Fabio. I got some heat. You know what I mean? So this is a good time. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I get your info, man. I get your
get it from Stu. Yeah, definitely.
All right, good. All right, brother.
Lock that in. All right, Jay Butter. Tito Star, my man Tito Star said, what role did the Decepticons gang in Brooklyn have on your upbringing?
I wasn't a part of that. I was around for that. I remember that vividly. You know, it's just one of those things that that was a different era. You know, shout out to the Low Lives, the Decepticons. You know, that was just a different time, man. And you know, kids was just growing up in Brooklyn. You know,
now it's Chews and Woos and Chose.
Oh yeah, it's different now. It's different.
It's going crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember a few years back at Lala's Winter Wonderland at Gaucho's when it was a lot of activity out there. Casanova, 6ix9ine, and
I remember.
It was just real active outside. But so and to see it evolve to where it is now, it's going crazy. That's one thing that I hope, and I'm sure that those conversations come up, but I hope the young brothers is just being safe. You know what I'm saying? As safe as they possibly can.
Indeed,
you know what I'm saying?
Indeed. Listen, I always tell them the opportunity is greater than the problem, bro. Like some of this shit is not even personal, my nigga. Like, you know, I'm not you know, ain't no wool over my eye. I understand certain shit got to go on. You know, it is what it is. But, you know, for the many things that don't, you know, let's try to figure it out.
Right. Facts. Snacks, the 8th wonder, my brother for 40-something years, or maybe 20 years. I don't want y'all to tell y'all my age, but my brother from Jersey, he said first, you one of the realest MCs and people. The question is, what artists do you want to work with that you haven't?
Bruno Mars.
Wow.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
I love Bruno Mars.
You might have to bring that High Hater 2022 with Bruno Mars. Bring that back with Bruno.
Right.
Dude, can I piggyback that question? You said Bruno Mars. Like, what type of record would it be? Would it be on? Would you bring him to like your world, or you're kind of like you going to his world?
Jay Butter.
We could do a combination of both. See, he does soulful party music, but then it's some pain into what he's saying. Like, you know what I mean? I like pain. Like, you know, so. I like pain, so
I like that.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy. Well, that's it for the chat questions. Where you before we let you go? Like, where what's next for Kitchen Talk? What guests are coming up that you can give us the lowdown
we got, man. It's crazy. A lot of people tapping in right now. We just had we shot last night. We got my man Giggs from the UK, so that's gonna be a big episode because he's huge in the UK. Yeah. And you know, he's been on songs with Drake and you know all kinds of people. So it's gonna be dope. You know, to be able to tap into that international space also. You know, and yeah. So we just gonna keep we gonna keep working. The show gonna keep getting better. We gonna keep putting out some dope shit, and you know the music is coming. So get ready.
When's the gigs joint air?
This week.
This week?
So we all dropped, we dropped the audio on Thursday, Saturday, the visual.
Tierra Lenise said, will you get on some drill? I thought I heard you on a drill joint.
Yeah, I've been on plenty drill beats.
I heard you.
I work with Pop Smoke. I work with Fabio. I work with a lot of the young niggas that do that. So, yeah definitely.
Yeah, that's dope. Of course, Brooklyn, KOB, King of Brooklyn. Man,
definitely.
Listen, man, y'all know what it is. Support everything Maino got going. You know what I'm saying? From the music to the podcast, the whole Maino movement is the hustle hard. Shout out. What's up? I did want to shout out to Mouse. Could you just talk about Mouse?
My brother Mouse. Shout out to my brother Mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, his daughter was just standing here with me right now. His daughter lives with me. Yeah, his daughter Sky. Yeah, Mouse. Yeah, he be home. He be home soon. He'll be home next year.
Dope.
So yeah.
I mean, if you follow Maino and a fan of hip hop, you definitely looking forward to Mouse coming home. Hustle hard, Mouse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know you got it ready for him as soon as he touched down. You know what I'm saying? So
of course.
That's gonna be.
Any of these any new records you got coming out? Like I need some new Maino.
I told you what I got, what I'm holding, so it's coming.
And as soon as you sign, as soon as the ink is dry, Maino, let's go. You already know how we activate.
I got some shit, definitely.
We got to flood you through. And we got to get you down here for something, man.
Yeah, I like DC, man. DC is good for my blood, bro.
Yeah,
they like me, man. You know what I mean? You know the ladies. I like the ladies, you know.
And they love you back.
They love Maino out here.
Like DC, man. Like, woo,
yeah.
We're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
We're going to touch you on DC, Baltimore, and
let's go. I'm with all that. I'm with all that. Oh, it's this spot. I had a good the last time I came through the market was when I was promoting Party and Pain, right? So I say that was maybe 3 years ago. And I went and I was in DC area for about 2-3 days. And I went to this club in Baltimore, or was it outside? Is it Maryland? A part of Maryland. Is it called Select?
Oh, you was in Baltimore. You was in Baltimore. You know. Come on.
That was a good time right there. Is that
yo?
Is that still open?
Yes, Maino. We can set that up for you. You know, I was
thinking about coming back down just for that.
I'm on air in DC, but I'm a Baltimore native, born and raised.
Yeah, so Select is a night. That's the spot. It's like real nice, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. It's sitting right on.
That's where the nice ladies go.
Hey, Reddz.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna take you where the nice ladies go.
Reddz, you know it's real when you get up close in the camera when you like
yeah.
You know it's real when you get close to the camera, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Stu, what's that spot you had me at that time? I came down there.
We've been to a couple spots.
Oh man, damn, Stu. It was the time when I came down. I had picked my son up and I came down. Oh man.
Because we did Stonefish. We did
Stonefish was when we had the album, right?
Yeah.
Not that time. It was like some party.
It might have been
and
like
remember we were staying like in these Airbnbs.
Yeah, that wasn't. It might have been damn. It might have been Ibiza. Was it Ibiza?
You had me staying like these cribs. I had these apartments.
I think that was when we did Stonefish.
Was that?
Yeah, and it was right.
You had to walk down the steps to get into it.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that was Stonefish.
That was Stonefish.
Okay, that's Stonefish. You had to walk downstairs.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That ain't even open no more, but you know.
Oh, we got
spots.
I was coming to DC when Love was open.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love used to be Dream.
Yeah. Yep. And you know, Mark's still rocking. He got Park. Now.
Park. Oh yeah. Park. Yeah. I like Park. Nah, man. I love that area though, man. I've been coming to that area, getting loved up on for years.
Yes.
I'm surprised you ain't got no little Mainos out here in the DMV.
Baby.
So
that pull-out game to me.
Crazy. Pull-out game. Crazy out here. You know what I'm saying?
So look, we looking to do we about to do the Stu review. We about to take it on the road, like at different spots. So I mean,
we're gonna make it happen.
Select might be a spot.
I like that Select, man. I like. See, listen, man. I'm a simple man. Like, just just give me what I'm supposed to have and then put me where I'm supposed to be. Like, listen,
sir.
like
yes,
when the ladies are fluent and beautiful, man.
And you know how the DMV is, like that's a whole little run. We hit a DC
that's a whole
spot,
little run, man.
Maryland,
the problem with me is that all the time the problem with me is that anytime I'm on the road, like I don't know how to just go into the hotel. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
I'm a people person. I'm not afraid of niggas, and I don't be coming, like I'm.
You outside.
Nigga, what's the spot that everybody go to? We need to be there tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you come. We be at the MGM. You know what I'm
trying
saying?
to tell you.
Like,
I'm trying to
know,
tell you.
outside with it. You with the
Trying to tell
people
you.
always. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to tell you.
That's why the people are always with you, always gonna have your back too, always gonna support what you do because you
Thank
with
you,
the
brother.
people. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
That's what it is.
So
Hey,
let me ask you this, because we got a lot of artists on the call as well.
feature
Like,
game, that feature game, bang bang.
Yes.
Yeah, we got the studio downstairs, man. His studio. Let's work it out, man. You get it. We can work it out. They get it back tonight.
Bang.
Let me know. I got
Y'all
the studio
heard
downstairs. It ain't no thing.
It's that
Y'all
simple.
heard
Work it
that.
out.
It's that simple, man. That's what it is, man. Look, he always been for the culture. If y'all on mute, y'all can take everybody come off mute and give Maino a round of applause, man. If you on mute, come on mute. Give snaps, clap. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
You got a
for
real
being a real
one, man.
Proud of you, Maino.
Real one right here.
Thank
You
you.
know what I'm saying?
Thank you for being a real one.
Yeah, y'all give him his flowers, man.
Respect.
Hey, yo, Maino, what's that word? Forever? Perpetuity? I can never forget.
Perpetuity.
Watch out for that perpetuity. Yo, thank you everybody for tuning in.
Yeah,
thank you, my brother Maino.
Thank you, DJ
We
Reddz.
locked in. I can't wait to drop these clips, man.
Big Brooklyn.
You gave us some gems. You gave us some good ones, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
it's an honor to meet
Tito
you,
over
Maino.
there
I was
getting
psyched
time.
for a
See
week.
you, Tito.
It's a pleasure, baby. It's a pleasure.
Love, man.
All right, y'all.
My
Love.
nigga.
Love.